So Apple just announced a bunch of brand new MacBook Pro 13s. They're keeping the same design, but they're making improvements where it counts. If you are familiar with the MacBook Pro 16, you're gonna get a lot of similar changes to the 13. So same design on the outside, but just like the 16, you're getting the improved Magic Keyboard, so a lot easier to type on since it's using the scissor switches, and it should be much more reliable. The arrow keys are no longer the weird shape from the previous model, but instead you get the T-shaped keys, which are much easier to use. Microphones have been improved as well. The mic array setup is going to be very similar, or maybe almost as good as the mics inside of the MacBook Pro 16. And on top of that, you also get better speakers in the newer model compared to the previous one. Now, there are different SKUs to choose from. Apple is offering this product with 256 gigabyte SSDs at the base model for $12.99. But there's one thing you need to be aware of. If you're going for the cheaper models, it's still using the previous 8th gen Intel processor. If you want to take advantage of the newer, more powerful 10th gen Intel processors, you have to pay $1,800 for the base model, and that will net you an i5, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you'll be able to take advantage of the more powerful Iris Plus graphics. Yes, the 8th gen version has Iris Plus graphics, but it only has 48 execution units compared to 64 on the Iris Plus with the Intel 10th gen. So if you're someone who wanted a little bit of more GPU power out of their MacBook Pro 13, you're gonna wanna go with the 10th gen version instead. You also get 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports if you decide to go with the 10th gen Intel version, compared to only 2 on the 8th gen. The good news though is that there's no more dual core processors. All of these models have been updated with quad core processors, so performance will be better across the board. And of course, there's some better memory improvements with the 10th gen version, like faster RAM, better battery efficiency, so you technically get slightly better battery life, but I think it really comes down to your personal workflow. Which one makes the most sense for you? If you're someone who's just looking for something that's a bit faster than the MacBook Air, don't waste your money on the 10th gen Intel variant. Get the base model. It's gonna be just as fast or feel just as fast if you're doing general productivity. However, if you require a bit more GPU horsepower, then the 10th gen is worth it. The integrated Iris Plus graphics with the extra compute units makes a difference compared to the 8th gen model. So maybe you're doing a lot of Lightroom or Photoshop and you use a lot of acceleration where it takes advantage of the GPU, then the 10th gen model is going to make a big difference. Now, if you have any more questions on which one you should buy, let me know in the comments section down below because I will be reviewing this. Feel free to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next video.